Dear students, I am Dr. S.S. Desai from Statistics Department. This is my first lecture on probability from Business Statistics paper number 2. So in this lecture, I am going to discuss the following points: introduction to the probability, history of probability, basic notations, then definition of probability, and some critical points based on probability. Almost every one of us has to take certain decisions about the future which involve uncertain elements. People use the term probability many times each day. Generally, people express their uncertain expectations as it is likely to rain today. Probably I will get first class in become per second examination. It is possible that the price of sugar will rise. There are fairly good chances for Thakre Sarkar to complete its full tenure. Physician may say that he or she is 95% certain that a patient has particular disease. Each one of these statements indicates the chance of an event which will take place in future. The science of probability tries to measure the possibility of such events in numerical form. The probability of an event is a numerical value which measures the likelihood that the event can occur. Let us see the history of probability. The theory of probability started in 17th century in 1654. In the games of chance related to gambling, French gambler C.D. Marais consulted to his friends Pascal and Fermat regarding to his problems in gambling. In their discussions, the fundamental principles of probability theory were formulated for the first time. Afterwards, French mathematician Pascal, Fermat, Swiss mathematician James Bernoulli, Abraham de Moivre, Chabezius, Thomas Bayes have given their valuable contribution to the theory of probability. Then Laplace has given mathematical or a priori definition of probability in 1812. In 20th century, Russian mathematician Kolmogorov has given axiomatic definition of probability in 1933. R.A. Fisher, J. Newman, E.S. Pearson, Indian statisticians P.S. Huzurbazar. So the Huzurbazar is from Kolhapur, and C.R. Rao made developments in theory of probability. So the importance of probability is nowadays probability has become one of the most indispensable tools in statistics. Today, this subject has been developed to a great extent, and there is not even a single discipline in social, physical, as well as natural sciences where probability theory is not used. It is extensively used in the quantitative analysis of business and economic problems, such as predictions on demand for a new product, estimations of production cost, forecasting crop failures, buying insurance, preparation of budget, etc. The theory of probability has enriched and emboldened many subjects like economics, commerce, biology, medicine, genetics, psychology, etc. Now let us discuss basic terms used in probability. The first term is trial, a process under observation having two or more possible results is called a trial or an experiment. An random experiment is one in which the outcomes or results cannot be predicted with certainty. For example, tossing a coin, there are two outcomes, head or tail, appearing for an examination. So here also there are two outcomes, getting pass or getting fail. Throwing a die, so there are six possible outcomes, getting number one or two or three or four or five or six. In drawing a card from pack of playing cards, there are 52 possible cards. The next term is outcome. A result of a trial is called as an outcome. For example, in tossing a coin, getting head or getting tail is an outcome. In drawing a card from pack of cards, there are 52 possible outcomes. Next term is sample space. A set of all possible outcomes of a trial is called as a sample space. It is denoted by capital S or omega. Every element of a sample space is called sample point. The total number of sample points in sample space S is denoted by N of S. For example, in tossing a coin trial, the sample space is S is equal to a set containing H and T, and therefore N of S is equal to 2, and this can be written as 2 raised to 1. In tossing two coins at a time, the sample space will contain 4 points, HH, HT, TH, TT, and therefore N of S is equal to 4, and that 4 can be written as 2 raised to 2. Similarly, in tossing three coins at a time, the sample space S will contain 8 possible results, and therefore N of S is equal to 8, and that 8 can be written as 2 raised to 3. So in general, so we can write this as, in tossing k coins at a time, the sample space will contain 2 raised to k points. In throwing a die trial, the sample space will contain the 6 numbers 1 to 6, and therefore N of S is equal to 6. This can be written as 6 raised to 1. In throwing two dice at a time, the sample space will contain 36 points as shown in this set, and therefore N of S is equal to 36. This 36 can be written as 6 raised to 2, and we can generalize this as, in throwing k dice, the sample space will contain 6 raised to k points. In throwing a coin at a time, in throwing a coin and a die at a time, the sample space will contain 12 points as shown in the sample space, head and number 1, head and number 2, similarly head and number 6, and tail and number 1, tail and number 2, up to tail and number 6. In all there are 12 possible results, and therefore N of S is equal to 12. And the next example is, a student from a certain class is asked to write a positive even number randomly. Then the sample space will be set of all positive even numbers, that is S will contain the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, dash dash dash, and in this case number of points in this set is infinity. The next term is an event. Any subset of an sample space is called as an event. An event containing a single element from sample space is called as elementary event or simple event. An event containing two or more sample points from sample space is called compound event. Let us consider the examples. In tossing a coin trial, the sample space is S is equal to H comma T, and here getting head H, getting tail T are elementary events. In throwing a die trial, there are 6 sample points in the sample space. Getting number 1, comma, getting number 2 up to getting number 6 are elementary events. So here, getting an even number, that is 2, 4, 6, or getting a number which is perfect square, that is 1 and 4, are compound events. Now let us define sure event or certain event. An event having all the sample points from the sample space is called sure event or certain event. For example, in drawing a red marble from a box containing only red marbles is a sure event. Now let us define impossible event or null event. An event does not having any sample point from the sample space is called impossible event or null event. It is denoted by phi. For example, drawing a white marble from a bag containing only red marbles is an impossible event. Next one is complementary event. The non-occurrence, that is non-happening of an event A, is denoted by A complement or complement of A and is called as complementary event of A. For example, the occurrence of odd numbers 1, 3, 5 in a throw of a die is complementary to the occurrence of even numbers 2, 4, 6. In case of drawing a card from pack of playing cards, if A is drawing a picture card, then A complement will be drawing a non-picture card. Next term is mutual exclusive events. The two events are said to be mutually exclusive if both cannot happen simultaneously. That is, if one of them happens, then other cannot happen. For example, if we toss a coin, we will get either head or tail, but we but cannot be head and tail at a time. So getting head and getting tail are exclusive events. Next, second example, in appearing for an examination, getting pass and getting fail are mutual exclusive events. In drawing a card from a pack of cards, getting red card and getting black card are mutually exclusive events, but getting red card and getting picture card are not mutually exclusive because we may have a card which is red card as well as picture card. Next one is independent events. Two events are said to be independent of each other if happening or non-happening of one does not affect the happening of the other in any way. For example, if two students take an examination, then the success or failure of one of them does not affect the success or failure of the other. So their results are independent. In tossing a coin twice, the event of getting a head in second toss is independent of the result of getting a result of the first toss. Next term is equally likely events. Events are said to be equally likely if we have no reason to expect any one in preference to the others. That is, if the chance of their happening are equal, For example, in tossing an unbiased coin, getting head and getting tail are equally likely events. In drawing a card from pack of cards, there are 52 equally likely cards. Also, getting red card and getting black card are equally likely events. Next term is exhaustive events. A group of events is said to be exhaustive if it includes all possible outcomes of a trial. For example, in tossing a coin, the group of events H and T is an exhaustive. In throwing a die trial, the group of numbers from 1 to 6 is exhaustive, but the group of numbers 2, 5, 6 is not exhaustive. Next one is favorable cases. The cases which causes the happening of an event are said to be favorable cases to that event. If A is an event, then number of favorable cases to A is denoted by M bracket A. For example, in throwing a die, the numbers 2, 4, 6 are favorable to the event A of getting an even number. Therefore, M of A is equal to 3. In drawing a card from a pack of cards, there are 26 cards favorable to the event B of getting a black card, and therefore M of B is equal to 26. Also, there are 12 cards favorable to the event C of getting a picture card, therefore M of C is equal to 12. Now let us see the definition of probability. Mathematician Laplace has given the following definition of probability in 1812, which is called as mathematical or classical or priori definition of probability. And it is given as: if a trial results in any one of n mutually exclusive, equally likely and exhaustive cases, and if m of them are favorable to the event A, then probability of A denoted by P bracket A is given by probability of A equal to the ratio of number of favorable cases to A divided by number of possible cases, that is equal to M bracket A divided by N bracket S. Thus, the probability of an event is a fraction of outcomes in which the event occurs. Now let us see the critical points regarding to the probability. So the first point, if m is equal to n, that is if all the possible cases are favorable to the event A, then its probability will be n divided by n equal to 1. That is, the event A is certain, that is sure to happen. And if probability of any event is equal to 1, then that event is called sure event or certain event. For example, the sun will rise tomorrow is sure event or certain event. Second point, if m is equal to 0, that is no one case is favorable to A, then probability of A is 0 divided by n, that is equal to 0. That is, the event A is impossible to happen. And if probability of any event is probability of any event is 0, then the event A that event is called as an impossible event or null event. For example, a human being will not die is an impossible event or null event. Third point, the probability that A will not happen is given by probability of A complement is equal to 1 minus probability of A. And last point, the value of probability always lies between 0 and 1, both inclusive, that is in the closed interval 0, 1, that is 0 less than or equal to probability of A less than or equal to 1. In the next lecture, we shall see some numerical problems based on this definition of probability. Thank you. Thank you very much.